In 1857, the Supreme Court decided all blacks, whether free or slaves, were not to become U.S. citizens or have the right to sue in a Supreme Court. Dred Scott versus Sanford was an event that occurred in March of 1857. It happened because Dred Scott wanted freedom as a black man. Sanford was Scott's slave owner in Illinois, and because Scott was doing everything for Sanford, he did not want that to stop, so he was fighting to keep Scott as a slave. Sanford, as a white man, and Scott, who was a black man, Sanford had more rights, so he knew he would win the case. So all blacks wanted freedom as well. So Dred Scott wasn't just doing it for him, he was doing it for all blacks in the United States. First of all, Roger B. Taney declared that all blacks, slaves or free, were not to become U.S. citizens. Roger B. Taney was white, and also Sanford was white. So they knew if they united together that they would win the case and have all slaves, all blacks, remain their slaves, because the blacks had no right to sue in a court, but whites did, so they knew they had the advantage. So Taney was fighting as a white man because he didn't like the idea of free blacks. Because he's white, he knew 100% that he and Sanford would win the case and all blacks would remain as slaves. Also, Taney said, since he's black, he has no right to sue, so he knew he would win. Dred Scott versus Sanford was a portion of how blacks became free. Scott was fighting so much for freedom for all blacks, he never gave up. Because he had a passion. Sanford and Taney were together on the case, wanting all blacks to remain their slaves. But Scott never gave up, even though he had a disadvantage of being black. Scott ended up losing the case, but he never gave in to master pressure. My event caused change by Scott influencing other blacks to fight for freedom. That's one reason why they're free today. And that is the Dred Scott decision.